In the dark, vast emptiness of space, Commander Jake Ryan sat alone in the cockpit of his starship, staring at the massive alien blockade in the distance. His ship, the Valkyrie, was sleek, powerful, and armed with the best weapons Earth could offer. But it was just one ship against hundreds. Still, Jake wasn't worried. He had faced worse odds before, and he was determined to defend Earth even if it meant going alone. The alien fleet blocking Earth's route was from the Kreth Alliance, a powerful coalition of warrior species who believed humans were too weak to deserve a place in the galaxy. The Kreth ships were huge and intimidating, each one bristling with weapons and energy shields. The Kreth had one goal: force humanity to submit or stay locked in their own solar system forever. But Jake had other plans. He had a message for the Kreth, and he was going to deliver it himself. Jake's voice rang out on the open communication channel. "This is Commander Jake Ryan of the Earth Defense Fleet. Kreth Alliance, your blockade ends now." There was a pause, and then the alien fleet commander, a cold voice from a Kreth named Varek, responded, "Human, you are brave but foolish. You cannot win against us alone." Jake just smirked. "Maybe. But you'll have to prove it." Without another word, Jake powered up the Valkyrie and shot forward, speeding toward the heart of the blockade. His ship hummed with energy, the engines blazing as he approached the alien ships at full speed. His heart raced with excitement. He had trained for years for moments like this. If they wanted to see what humans were made of, he would show them. The Kreth ships began to move, shifting into a tighter formation. They didn't expect him to charge straight in, especially alone. They probably thought he was bluffing. But Jake was dead serious. He activated the Valkyrie's weapon systems, loading plasma cannons and laser turrets, each one aimed at the nearest Kreth warship. Then, with a roar, he opened fire. Laser beams sliced through the darkness of space, lighting up the battlefield with flashes of energy. The first Kreth ship took heavy damage, its shields flickering under the onslaught. Jake's targeting system calculated each shot with precision, aiming for weak points on the alien ships. The Kreth were advanced, but they had no idea how creative humans could be in a fight. As the Valkyrie darted through the blockade, dodging enemy fire with sharp turns and daring maneuvers, Jake could feel the tension building. He was a small target, but the Kreth were quickly adapting, closing in to trap him. Laser beams and missiles streaked toward him from all directions, but he spun his ship and dodged expertly. His reflexes sharp and focused. One missile came dangerously close, but Jake activated the Valkyrie's countermeasures just in time. The missile veered off course, exploding harmlessly in the distance. Jake grinned. He loved a good challenge, and the Kreth were giving him the fight of his life. Varek's voice crackled over the comms again, filled with frustration. "You are reckless, human. You cannot keep this up forever." Jake laughed. "Then I guess you better stop me fast." He launched a new round of attacks, this time focusing on the engines of the nearest Kreth ship. If he could disable just a few of their ships, he could create a gap in the blockade. His plan wasn't to destroy them all. He just needed to make enough of an impact to show the galaxy that humans were a force to be reckoned with. As the Kreth ships began to take more damage, some of them tried to retreat, creating a small opening. Jake saw his chance. He charged forward, weaving through the weakened part of the blockade, still firing at any ship that tried to stop him. His heart pounded as he pushed the Valkyrie to its limits, every movement fast and precise. Suddenly, he broke through the blockade. On the other side, the empty space stretched before him, a path to freedom for Earth. But Jake wasn't done yet. He turned the Valkyrie back to face the Kreth fleet, sending out one last message for the galaxy to hear. "Listen up, Kreth Alliance. Earth isn't backing down. If you want to keep us out, you'll have to do better than this." Varek's voice returned, but now it sounded shaken, uncertain. "You are only one human. This doesn't change anything." Jake shook his head, a smile still on his face. "You keep telling yourself that, but next time, it won't be just me. And you know it." With that, Jake turned and sped back toward Earth, leaving the Kreth ships behind. The galaxy would remember this day, the day one human stood up to an entire alien fleet. And Jake knew that his actions would inspire others, showing the galaxy that humanity was stronger and braver than anyone had expected. As he returned home, the stars stretched out before him, and Jake felt a surge of pride. Humans would face many more challenges, but now the galaxy knew Earth had defenders who wouldn't back down. Captain Sarah Hunt sat quietly in the cockpit of her ship, the Valiant. Outside her window, stretching across the darkness of space, was a wall of alien ships. They were huge and powerful, blocking Earth's last route to the stars. This was the Kreeth Alliance's way of keeping humans in check, forcing them to stay in their own little corner of the galaxy. But Sarah was not here to be intimidated. Alone in the silent cockpit, she adjusted her controls, steadying her ship for what lay ahead. She had sent her message, "I'm coming through." Now the galaxy's attention was fixed on her, watching as one lone human captain faced down the entire Kreeth blockade. A voice crackled over her communication system, cold and sharp. It was the Kreeth fleet commander, Commander Zal. "Earth has no place among us, human. Your kind is too weak for the galaxy." Sarah pressed a button, activating her comms. "Maybe you haven't met the right human yet," she replied, her voice calm but full of confidence. "Let's change that." Without another word, she engaged her engines, pushing the Valiant forward toward the alien fleet. Her heart pounded, but she kept her hands steady, her focus sharp. The Kreeth ships started to move, adjusting to block her path. They probably thought she was bluffing, that no human would be foolish enough to face an entire fleet alone. But Sarah wasn't bluffing. She knew the risks, knew she was outnumbered, but she also knew she had to make a stand. She wasn't just fighting for herself, she was fighting for Earth, for humanity's right to explore the stars. And she wouldn't let fear stop her. As the Valiant approached the blockade, the Kreeth opened fire. Blasts of energy shot toward her, bright streaks of light cutting through the darkness. Sarah reacted instantly, steering her ship into a tight roll, dodging the enemy fire. Her reflexes were fast, her years of training kicking in as she maneuvered through the storm of lasers and missiles. She fired back, her ship's plasma cannons blazing. Her aim was precise, each shot hitting the shields of the nearest Kreeth ships. She didn't need to destroy them just to make an impact, to show them what one determined human could do. Explosions lit up around her as her shots connected, and for a moment, the Kreeth formation wavered. Commander Zal's voice returned, sounding more frustrated. "You are outnumbered, human. Surrender now, and perhaps we will let you live." Sarah just smiled. "Surrender isn't in my vocabulary," she said, her voice calm and steady. "I didn't come here to give up." With that, she accelerated, flying the Valiant straight into the heart of the Kreeth formation. The alien ship scrambled, trying to close in on her, but she was too quick, too precise. She weaved through the blockade, dodging fire, her ship dancing through the danger with skill and courage. Her mind raced, analyzing the positions of the Kreeth ships. She could see a small gap forming between two of the ships, a weakness she could exploit. Without hesitation, she aimed her ship toward the opening, firing at the Kreeth ships on either side to keep them off balance. The Kreeth were powerful, but they weren't used to humans like Sarah. They weren't used to someone who didn't back down, who didn't fold under pressure. And they certainly weren't used to someone who was willing to fight alone. As she closed in on the gap, the Kreeth ships tried to adjust, to close the opening. But Sarah was already there. She blasted through, her ship slipping past the blockade and into open space on the other side. She had broken through the Kreeth's wall, proving that their blockade wasn't unbreakable. But Sarah didn't stop there. She turned the Valiant back toward the Kreeth fleet, sending a message to every ship in the blockade. "This is Captain Sarah Hunt. Earth won't be locked down, not by you, not by anyone. If you want to keep us out, you're gonna have to fight harder than this." Her message echoed across the galaxy, a bold statement of human courage and defiance. She knew her words would reach Earth, would inspire her people. Humanity wasn't just a weak, isolated species, they were fighters, explorers, ready to claim their place among the stars. For a moment, there was silence. Then Zal's voice came back, but now it held a note of uncertainty. "You are only one ship, one human. This does not change anything." Sarah laughed, her eyes gleaming with determination. Maybe not today, but tomorrow? Next year? You'll see more of us, and we won't be coming alone. With that, she turned the Valiant and began the journey back to Earth. She had made her point, sent a message that couldn't be ignored. The Creeth would think twice before underestimating humanity again. As she flew through the vast darkness, Sarah felt a sense of pride and purpose. She knew that today was just the beginning, that there would be more battles, more challenges. But now, the galaxy knew that humanity would not be kept out, that Earth would not back down. One ship, one stand, and it had made all the difference. Commander Lucas Gray sat in the cockpit of his ship, the Pioneer, staring at the endless line of Creeth Alliance warships blocking his path. The alien fleet stretched across the darkness of space, each ship bristling with weapons and shields. The Creeth had come to enforce a harsh message: Earth was not welcome in the galaxy. But Lucas wasn't here to back down. He was here to make a bold move that the galaxy wouldn't forget. Earth's leaders had tried negotiations, offering peace and cooperation, but the Creeth had refused. They saw humanity as weak, unworthy, and not worth their respect. Now, they had set up a blockade to keep Earth isolated. But Lucas had another idea. He leaned forward, activating his comms. "This is Commander Lucas Gray of Earth. I'm coming through, whether you like it or not." A voice crackled back, deep and mocking. It was Creeth Commander Zorak. "One human ship thinks it can break our blockade? How amusing. Turn back, human, or face the consequences." Lucas smirked. "I think you'll find we're not as weak as you think." He pushed the Pioneer's engines to full throttle, charging straight toward the blockade. As he flew closer, the Creeth ships began to move, adjusting their formation to trap him. They fired warning shots, lasers blazing across the darkness, but Lucas didn't flinch. He dodged the beams with quick, skillful turns, using all his training to weave through the barrage of fire. His heart was pounding, but he was focused, calm. He knew this move was risky, knew he was outnumbered, but he also knew he had to make a stand. This wasn't just about him. This was about Earth, about humanity's right to explore the stars. As he drew closer, Zorak's voice returned, colder and more frustrated. "You're throwing your life away, human. Our fleet is unbeatable. Turn back now." Lucas laughed. "You think a blockade will scare us? You have no idea who you're dealing with." With a grin, he activated the Pioneer's weapons, launching a barrage of plasma bolts at the nearest Creeth ship. The alien ship's shields flickered, struggling under the impact. Lucas didn't stop, firing again and again, his shots precise and relentless. He wasn't trying to destroy them all, just to create enough chaos to break through. The Creeth ships responded, closing in and unleashing a hail of lasers and missiles. But Lucas was ready. He spun the Pioneer in sharp, daring maneuvers, dodging enemy fire with incredible skill. His ship darted and weaved through the blockade, making it hard for the Creeth to keep up. He was small, fast, and unpredictable, a true thorn in their side. As the Creeth adjusted their formation, Lucas noticed a slight gap between two ships. It was small, but it was enough. This was his chance. Without hesitating, he aimed the Pioneer toward the gap, pushing his engines to their limits. The ship roared forward, the stars blurring as he sped through the narrow opening. Just as he shot through, one of the Creeth ships fired, and a laser beam grazed the side of the Pioneer. Sparks flew, and alarms blared, but Lucas kept his focus, steering his ship through the chaos. He was out. He had broken through the blockade. Lucas quickly turned his ship back to face the Creeth fleet, opening his comms to deliver a message that would echo across the galaxy. "This is Commander Lucas Gray. Earth will not be contained. If you want to stop us, you'll have to try harder than that." There was a pause, and then Zorak's voice came back, filled with anger and disbelief. "One ship cannot change the galaxy, human. You are nothing but a nuisance." Lucas chuckled, his voice calm but firm. "Today, it's just me. But soon, there will be more of us. And we won't be coming alone." The words sent a chill through the Creeth commanders, a warning that humanity was not backing down. Lucas knew his message would reach Earth, that it would inspire others. Today, he was just one man, one ship. But his actions would show the galaxy that humans were brave, determined, and ready to fight for their future. He watched as the Kreth ships hesitated, their formation breaking slightly. They were powerful, yes, but he could see a hint of fear in their response. They expected humans to be afraid, to surrender. But now, they knew humanity had fighters who wouldn't back down, who would risk everything for their freedom. With a final nod, Lucas turned the Pioneer and began the journey back to Earth. He knew there would be more battles ahead, but now the galaxy understood Earth would not be contained, and humanity would not be underestimated. As he flew home, the stars stretched out before him, vast and open. Lucas felt a surge of pride and hope. Humanity had a long road ahead, but today they had taken their first bold step into the galaxy. The Kreth would remember this day, and so would Earth. One ship, one man, and one bold move that changed everything. Lieutenant Emma Cole gripped the controls of her starship. The horizon, her gaze locked on the massive alien blockade stretching across the stars ahead of her. The Kreth Alliance had built a wall of warships, each one a dark, armored fortress. They were here to keep Earth contained, to make sure humanity never left its small corner of the galaxy. But Emma wasn't here to accept that fate. She was here to prove that no one could tell Earth where it belonged. She was here to show the galaxy what one determined human could do, even against impossible odds. Emma took a deep breath, steadying herself. She'd trained for years, pushing herself to become one of Earth's best pilots, but nothing had prepared her for this. Still, she wasn't about to let the Kreth intimidate her. She pressed a button on her comms, opening a channel to the Kreth fleet. "This is Lieutenant Emma Cole of Earth. You have two choices, open up a path or try to stop me. Either way, I'm coming through," a cold, mocking voice replied. It was Kreth Commander Rylak, leader of the blockade. A single human ship trying to break a Kreth fleet? You have a sense of humor, Earthling. Go home or be destroyed. Emma's lips curved into a defiant smile. Guess you'll have to try and destroy me then. She powered up the Horizon's engines, pushing the ship forward at full speed. The Kreth ships began to adjust, moving to close the gap in their formation. But Emma was ready. Her heart pounded as she dodged the first wave of lasers, her ship twisting and diving to avoid the barrage of fire. The space around her lit up with explosions, each one a reminder of the danger she faced. But Emma's hands were steady. She was determined and she was fast. Her mind focused on one goal, breaking through that blockade. As she sped forward, she fired the Horizon's plasma cannons, targeting the shields of the closest Kreth ships. Her shots were precise, each one striking a weak spot she'd carefully noted. She didn't need to destroy the whole fleet, she just needed to create enough confusion to slip through. The Kreth ships returned fire, filling the space around her with lasers and missiles. But Emma had trained for this. Her reflexes were sharp, her instincts honed. She spun the Horizon in a daring loop, dodging a missile by inches. The missile exploded behind her, but she was already moving forward, focusing on the next ship in her path. Commander Rylak's voice crackled over the comms, sounding more annoyed than before. "You are wasting your life, human. Surrender now, and maybe we will show mercy." Emma's reply was quick and fearless. "I didn't come here for mercy. I came to make a point." With that, she accelerated, her ship streaking through the darkness, a single flame against the wall of alien ships. The Kreth weren't used to this kind of defiance. They were powerful, united, and they had always assumed humans would be easy to control. But now they faced a human who wasn't afraid, who was willing to stand alone against their might. As she weaved through the blockade, Emma noticed a small gap between two Kreth ships. It was tight, almost impossible to get through, but it was her only chance. She took a deep breath, adjusted her controls, and aimed the Horizon toward the opening. The Kreth ships tried to close in, lasers firing from all sides, but Emma's movements were sharp and precise. She squeezed through the gap, her ship brushing past one of the Kreth vessels, close enough for her to see the alien warriors on board. She caught a glimpse of their surprised faces as she shot past them, leaving them in her wake. She was out. She had broken through the blockade. Emma quickly turned the horizon back toward the Kreth fleet, sending a message to every ship on the comms. This is Lieutenant Emma Cole. Earth will not be caged. If you want to keep us out, you'll have to do better than this. Her voice echoed across the galaxy, a bold declaration of humanity's strength and determination. She knew her words would reach Earth, that her people would hear and feel a surge of hope. She was just one person, but she had stood up to the Kreth Alliance and won. And she knew others would follow. Commander Rylak's voice returned, but now it sounded shaken, uncertain. One human ship is nothing. This does not change anything. Emma chuckled, her voice full of confidence. Maybe today it's just one. But soon there will be more. And we're not going to stop. She watched as the Kreth fleet hesitated, their formation breaking slightly. The Kreth were powerful, but now they had seen something they didn't expect: a human willing to face them head-on, unafraid. They had thought Earth would be easy to control, that humans would stay quiet and small. But now they knew better. With a final nod, Emma turned the horizon and began the journey back to Earth. She had done what she'd come to do. She had shown the galaxy that humans wouldn't be locked down, that Earth was ready to fight for its place among the stars. As she flew through the vast expanse of space, Emma felt a deep sense of pride. The stars stretched before her, open and endless, a reminder of the possibilities that lay ahead. She knew that today was just the beginning, that there would be more challenges, more battles. But she also knew that humanity was stronger than anyone had realized. One ship, one pilot, and one brave stand that changed everything.